You hear that? Because to me, sounds like the Captain America Civil War hype train.
All right, I've run out of patience. On to roost!
Hey everyone.
Alright. I just went and saw Captain America Civil War today, quite a few hours ago actually. I've had time to let it sit, process in my brain. It gives me time to think about it, and now it gives me time to talk about it at 1:30 in the morning when I got a paper to write in the morning. So, yeah. I don't care. It's worth it. This was a great movie. If you couldn't tell, I already thought that. Now you know. So, I guess we'll just jump right into it. I got my notes here, so let's go. Now we open. We get opening scene of. It starts like, I'm pretty sure I didn't take these notes during the movie. I took them afterward, so I could have some details out of order. I hope not, but it's a possibility. So the movie starts, I'm pretty sure, with Bucky riding on a motorcycle. He drives past a car, shoots the driver, the car crashes into a tree, and he retrieves some blue liquid bags from the back. If you were like me and you decided to spoil the movie for yourself a little bit, sort of, I'd heard internet rumors of what this scene might have been before. Not even in particular this scene, of what might have happened in this movie. We'll talk about that later. That wound up being true. So when I saw this scene, I thought, oh, maybe this could be it. Also, if I talk a little weird during this video, it's because I ruined my tongue. I ate a bag of Sour Patch Kids and during the movie, and that kind of didn't go my way. So, dang. Anyways, so from here we get the openings credits of just Captain America Civil War, and then we jump straight into an action sequence, I'm pretty sure. And this action sequence was some of the Avengers, the new Avengers team pretty much, going to whatever country. Sorry, I didn't write it down, I don't know. They go to some country to fight Crossbone. That scene was awesome. That was pretty much the only scene when we see them working as a team, so it was pretty good to see. We get Captain America fighting Crossbone. Scarlet Witch is in there doing some magic stuff. I mean, Falcon's flying around doing his thing, and Black Widow's riding around on her motorcycle, kicking butt. It's a pretty good action sequence, only they did use shaky cam here and there in that scene. They didn't overuse it, so I tolerated it, but there was some use of it, so, you know. From here, we see, and once again, this might not be in order, from here we see Tony being sad. Yeah, well actually we sort of see, it's like a flashback sequence inside of present day. It's like Tony is looking in a hologram of his past because he's doing a presentation for some high school or college kids or something weird. That seems so weird. So if you guys remember that weird CG body Chris Evans had during Captain America 1, they did the same kind of thing with Robert Downey Jr. here, and it looked really weird because they were trying to make him look young, and it just came off as laughable. My theater, the one that I was in, a whole bunch of people just started laughing at that, so I don't know if that's what they were going for, but the theater I was in found that very funny. Along with me, I thought it looked ridiculous. So from here, we find out that Tony and Pepper Potts broke up. Yeah, after all they'd been through, for whatever reason, the studio didn't want to pay, what's her name, Gwyneth Paltrow. They decided to break the two up, at least for now. So, He was all bummed about that. He bumps into this woman in the hallway outside of where he gave the presentation. The woman's talking about how generous he's being and how generosity is pretty closely linked to guilt, and then she explains that Tony Stark was responsible for her son's death because her son was in Sokovia, and Tony Stark created Ultron, who destroyed Sokovia. So then we get the Sokovia Accords. They said they were agreed upon by hundreds of different countries and nations and whatever, and now they wanted the Avengers to sign them. Of course, Iron Man was willing to because he has felt extreme guilt throughout all these movies, and everyone keeps telling him. In the Avengers and in this movie, there was a line where they said, "You fight for only yourself." Don't know if any of you caught that Easter egg, but I certainly did. That was a good one. Anyways, so there was that, and Tony kind of took that to heart, where he's like, he wants to kind of, he wants to be the good guy. That's all he wants. He wants to be the good guy. He wants to right his wrongs, and he understands he's made mistakes, and that's what he's trying to fix by signing the Sokovia Accords. Whereas Captain America is kind of not wanting to. Also, I guess I should probably go over what started the Sokovia Accords in the first place, because I kind of just realized I forgot to mention that. So during this whole opening Aquan sequence, right, Captain America beats Crossbone, it looks like they're about to take him in, when all of a sudden he reveals he has this bomb-strapped vest. And then it blows up, but the explosion is contained and like sucked into a ball by Scarlet Witch. She tries to throw it into the air to get it out of the way, but when she throws it, it goes up in the air and explodes into a building, killing like 13 Wakanda people or something like that. People from Wakanda, whatever they're called. And so that leads to the Sokovia Accords. Well, that, along with all the other destruction caused by the Avengers in the previous movies. So Captain America doesn't want to sign because he's had bad experiences with S.H.I.E.L.D. turning into Hydra and all that stuff, and he doesn't trust the government, pretty much, so he's not willing to sign. Then Peggy Carter dies, and Captain America or Steve Rogers goes to her funeral, and he's all sad, and then he hooks up with her niece. Yeah. So from here, they go to the UN, or at least Black Widow goes to the UN, where she meets the King of Wakanda and his son. Sorry guys, I didn't write down their names. It's okay, I won't refer to either of them as their name through the whole video anyway, so. Anyways, so then all of a sudden this bomb goes off. We saw it in all the trailers. We kind of figured out, I say we as in not me specifically, but we as in like the community of the internet. So we figured out that was UN bombing. That would kind of be the catalyst for the Sokovia, or it would kind of be the catalyst for the fight or whatever. At the time, we thought it was going to be for the Sokovia Accords. That turned out to be wrong, but at the time we didn't know that. So the UN bombing happens. It kills the King of Wakanda, and now his son has to take up the mantle. His son being the warrior of the land, aka Black Panther. I'll talk about him later. So now he is extremely mad, along with Black Widow is extremely mad because she was in the bombing too. She survived, clearly. So they both have this thing against whoever did the bombing, and then it is revealed that it is someone who at least looks like Bucky Barnes. So now that they are on the lookout for Bucky, and Cap kind of becomes all sentimental about it and tries to go out and find him and take him back and make him good again, but no one else really wants that. So Captain America actually does find Bucky, and it leads to one of the coolest action sequences in the whole movie, which is a fight where Captain America and Bucky fight a whole bunch of soldiers who are trying to go kill Bucky, he was in this like hotel hideout. They were trying to kill him. There was this great hallway stairwell fight sequence. By the way, Marvel killing it with the hallway fight sequences. We got 1 in Daredevil season 1, 2 in Daredevil season 2. Now this, keep it up. They're great. So then this leads to the scene we saw in the trailer where Winter Soldier jumps out the window and flies down, lands on the roof, does a roll, and then starts running. And then immediately after, this wasn't in the trailer. I mean, sort of was, but not really. Black Panther comes out of nowhere, just tackles him down, whips out those vibranium claws, goes to kill him because he thinks Winter Soldier killed his father. He goes to stab him in the face, right? Winter Soldier tries to block it, and then a helicopter comes up out of nowhere, starts firing at him, and Black Panther just tanks the shots. From here, Falcon intervenes, and a big chase breaks out where the 4 of them run through and fly through a tunnel. We saw parts of this in the trailer where Black Panther's just hopping from car to car. He like jumps onto the roof, or he like jumps wall to wall. He's just all over the place. Meanwhile, Bucky's riding a motorcycle through there, and Cap's running and gets in a police car, and like I said, Falcon's just flying around. That scene's awesome. I mean, yeah, some of the visual effects weren't completely finished, or they were finished clearly because the movie's out, but they weren't completely great. But who freaking cares? The scene was cool. After this, all of them are captured. Bucky is messed with by Baron Zemo. His mind gets all screwed with again. He goes on kind of a rampage to the S.H.I.E.L.D. facility where he was being held. Probably kill somebody. This is the scene where Tony Stark uses his Iron Man glove and grabs the gun, and Bucky shoots it right into the glove. That part's really cool. That is where he gets his black eye, actually. Bucky hits him in the face. That scene's also really cool. Then we see, Black Widow grabs her legs around Bucky and starts just, beating down on his head. He, of course, overpowers her and escapes. Captain America goes after him, finds him, tells Falcon, leading to the after-credit scene we saw from Ant-Man, where Bucky had his arm in the big machine, right? And that all happened. Wow, a lot to go through. From here, Iron Man and Black Widow decide that they need more recruits. Black Widow goes and recruits Black Panther. See, I didn't even realize that. Black Widow, Black Panther, No, there's no connection there. That was just convenience, or that was just a coincidence, I think. Iron Man goes and recruits Spider-Man, which he finds out Peter Parker's Spider-Man. I'm not sure how. I don't remember if it says it or not, but he finds out Peter Parker's Spider-Man, goes and he hits on Aunt May before recruiting Spider-Man. That scene's hilarious, too. Our very first introduction to Peter Parker, when he's all just shocked to see Tony Stark in his house, and then when they go into his room and Tony Stark talks about him being Spider-Man, he's all embarrassed about the fact that he's got those goggles. That part's hilarious. Oh my god. I do like Tom Holland Spider-Man. Not a lot of people do. Or not a lot of people that I know do. I know a lot of people online do, but not a lot of the people that I know do. They all say he's too young and too annoying and the suit looks bad and blah blah blah. I mean, I did bash the suit in my trailer breakdown that I did however long ago, but that was before I saw it in full quality, so so we get that funny scene where we're introduced to Spider-Man. And then the airport scene. That is the coolest scene in any Marvel movie ever, probably. That is awesome. So, the airport scene starts where Spider-Man's swinging into a building, fighting Winter Soldier and Falcon. That scene when he catches the hand, he's like, "You got a metal arm? That is awesome, dude." That part's pretty funny. Meanwhile, Vision is showing up every now and then join the fight, and then the lineup happens. I love the way the lineup happens. So you see, all of Cap's team is headed towards the Quinjet because they're trying to get out of the airport, right? And then all of a sudden, this huge laser beam just, like, they're running, and then this laser beam just cuts them off, and then they can't go, and then Vision is just there. And then the Iron Man lineup starts, and then the two run at each other, and Iron Man jumps up and all, and that scene's really cool when they just come together and fight. Black Widow and Hawkeye get into a fight. I mean, Scarlet Witch intervenes with all the fights. She's kind of the most overpowered character in the MCU to date, that I can think of. She's just way overpowered. She took Vision and brought him down like 32 floors without using much effort at all in one scene of the movie. So she was kind of just there to stop the fights and be super overpowered, but it's okay because it looked cool. So during this fight, Black Panther is running around kicking butt. Spider-Man's swinging around kicking butt. Excuse me. Thank you. Yeah, Iron Man's and Rhodey are flying around kicking butt. It's a really cool scene. From here, or not even from here, in this same scene, there's a great sequence when Ant-Man holds up a truck, like a mini truck, and he throws it, and then has Captain America throw the growth plate at it that we saw turn the gnome into the big thing, and the Thomas the Tank Engine huge, and the ant huge in Ant-Man. He throws it at the truck, and the truck falls and explodes on Rhodey, and Ant-Man's like, "Oh, I thought that was a water truck," or something like that. I don't know, it was pretty funny. So then there's another scene when Ant-Man, he like it takes friggin' forever. He's running on like a 5-foot platform, but because he's so small, it takes him like 30 seconds to run across this 5-foot platform, and then he jumps and falls and lands on Rhodey. He lands on War Machine's leg, and then he turns into Giant Man. That would have been so much cooler had I not known it was going to happen. First of all, I knew it was going to happen because I had heard rumors about it. Then I had seen the Lego of it. Yeah, they have a Lego of it that they sell at Target. And then I had just seen the scene on Instagram. Someone posted it from like the UK or something. But it was pretty cool anyways. I thought that part was funny. I'm pretty sure that's how he dies in the comic. I know it is how he dies in the old Avengers cartoon sequel from way back when, the early 2000s. That's how he dies, was turning into Giant Man, turned too big, and killed himself, basically. Anyways, that's off topic. So, airport battle, awesome. Towards the end of it, Spider-Man gets kind of knocked out, sits the rest of the movie out. Iron Man and Rhodey are flying away. Falcon is following them because Captain America and Winter Soldier escaped. Vision shoots a beam, tries to kill, or I don't know if he tried to kill Rhodey, or not Rhodey, he tried to kill Falcon, but he tried to do something. He shot this giant laser at him, and it missed, and nearly killed Rhodey, crippled him, actually. So that's the scene we saw from the trailer when he falls out of the sky, it cripples him. Okay, from here, we find out that there are Winter Soldiers. There's multiple, more than one. That is what Captain America and Winter Soldier are trying to fight. This is all led by Baron Zemo, who ends up actually killing the Winter Soldiers before they even get to do anything in the plot. Baron Zemo is kind of the puppet master of this whole movie. Much better version of Lex Luthor from Batman v Superman, kind of. Had to get one Batman v Superman riff in here. So then we find out Iron Man shows up. He's like, hey, because he finds out that there's multiple, what are they called? Winter Soldiers, right? So he's like, hey, he's talking to Captain America. He's like, I'm gonna work with you. put our differences aside. We just had that big airport fight, but you know what? We need to team up. And they do for a little bit, up until Baron Zemo reveals that this part in the movie, I saw it coming because this was the rumor that I had heard that I was talking about at the very beginning of the video that was sort of kind of spoiled for me. I saw it coming just because it was a rumor that Winter Soldier killed Tony's parents, and that part was so sad because then Tony turns to Captain America and he's like, "Did you know?" And Captain America's like, "Yeah, I did." And then the fight from the trailers breaks out where, oh my god, I felt so bad for Iron Man because he's fighting to basically avenge his parents' death, and he gets his butt whooped. And this is the big thing with the movie, is it's like at the airport battle, it seems like it's all fun and games, like they're fighting, but they're not fighting to kill each other, they're just fighting in general. They're just, it's more of a, I don't want to say it's a playful fight, because it's not. They're fighting to hurt each other. They're fighting to win, but they're not fighting to kill each other. And here, Tony, well, minus Black Panther, he is fighting to kill Winter Soldier the whole time. But here in this final battle, so is Tony. Tony is fighting to kill Winter Soldier. He's fighting to take out Captain America. Whether he wants to kill him is left a little unclear. I tend to think he doesn't. I tend to think he would leave Cap alive, but he would harm him as badly as he could in order to kill Winter Soldier. So, but it's just so sad to see him, because he hardly stands a chance. Even his little new AI thing that he has, I guess it's not AI, but the new computer chip thing like Jarvis has, it's called like Friday or Wednesday, one of the two. He's got that installed now. Even that says, it tells him it's like, in a hand-to-hand combat you will lose against Captain America, and he does. Oh my god. So I was at this last scene, or around this last scene, I was so scared. Alright, so if you've read or if you're familiar with the Civil War comics, you know that Captain America dies at the end. So in this, I expected either Captain America or Iron Man to die. And this last scene, Steve has the shield, right? And he's bashing it down on Iron Man's helmet, and it cracks the head off, and the head rolls away. And then it looks like he goes to slam it down on his face and kill Tony, but he actually slams it down directly on the chest, breaks the arc reactor, and then he like sits back for a minute before going back for it, and I thought he was going to grab it and just shove it straight down and kill him. And at that moment my heart just sank. Oh, I felt so bad. I was like, no, 8 years, no, we can't lose Iron Man. But no, he just pulled the shield out. And then he helped, oh, forgot to mention this. I was right, man. Or not me specifically, because I just mentioned it. I didn't discover it. But I was right to talk about it, because if you go back and watch my Civil War breakdown from way back when, at the end I talked about is that Bucky missing an arm we see at the end of the trailer there. And clearly in this movie, when Bucky tries to punch Iron Man or whatever, and Iron Man grabs it and then he just blows the arm right off. So yeah, it is Bucky without an arm. At the time I thought he was dead. He's not in the movie. He just gets his arm knocked off, or his robot arm knocked off. So from here, Cap helps Bucky up and they start to leave, and Tony's like laying on the ground. He's like basically saying, you betrayed me, you betrayed my father made that shield, you don't deserve it. And Captain America agrees. He's like, you're right. He drops the shield and leaves. And that's pretty much the movie's end. It's not a great way to end it, or it's a good way to end a movie. I mean, it's not like a right tone to end the movie on. I guess we do get a scene after that where we see Vision is okay. Now we got Rhodey is learning how to walk again now that he's got these mechanical legs, and Steve Rogers breaks into this prison where the Captain America teammates were being held and frees them. That's where the movie ends. Quickly, I'm going to mention the after credit scenes. They weren't that important. I guess they were somewhat important. Winter Soldier gets re-cryogenically frozen because he knows if there are trigger words that will set him off and make him be assassin now, there will always be, and until they're gone, he can't be out. He's too dangerous. So he is a victim. He has a level of sympathy, and yeah, he's a very sympathetic character in this movie. He has tragedy to him. So there's that. So he's put back in cryogenic freezing, and he's put in Wakanda. Black Panther has learned that vengeance is not the way to live your life. Otherwise, you will be like Baron Zemo, who is now in jail for trying to tear the Avengers apart and succeeding to a certain level. Captain America tries to make amends with Tony over a letter, which is one step below texting them, because that's not even instant. So there's that. And then the second after credit scene is so weird. Spider-Man's messing with the web shooter, and he shoots this beam onto the ceiling, and the beam is the cartoon Spider-Man logo. So it's just, that was just supposed to be a happy little ending for the movie. And that's Captain America Civil War. Yeah, good movie. So quickly, I'm going to go through the characters really fast. Tony, amazing. By far the best character in this movie. Tony Stark. Robert Downey Jr. always brings it. He's always great. Yeah, he's a very sympathetic character in this movie. He definitely has a level of tragedy because he feels so much weight, so much pressure upon what he's done to the world, what his effect on the world has been. He's just trying to right his wrongs, and Captain America is just screwing him over. Right now we're talking about Team Iron Man, if you couldn't tell. Then we have Natasha. She's okay. Yeah. She's about as usual. She's there. Not the coolest character, not the least cool character. She does flip-flop between teams, sort of. Not like I heard she does in the comic, but because I haven't read the Civil War comic, but I heard, but in this movie she somewhat flip-flops teams. She just doesn't let Bucky get killed at one point. That's all she does. She keeps Black Panther from killing him. Rhodes, he was good. Sadly, he's crippled now. Sad to see him go, although he kind of has these two robotic leg things now that help him walk. Vision is extremely lame compared to Age of Ultron, I think. Yeah, I don't like Vision in this movie. Black Panther's freaking awesome. I told you we'd get back to him. Can't wait for the Black Panther solo movie. Out of all the characters in this movie, I'm most hyped for Black Panther. I know most people are hyped for the next character I'm going to talk about, Spider-Man. Yeah, Spider-Man is pretty good. Tom Holland is okay, or he's good as Spider-Man. Some of the jokes didn't come off well, like the you have the right to remain silent joke I didn't think was funny, but I thought all the other ones were, and I like the new Spider-Man suit. It looks like the comics and all that. Yeah, I like Spider-Man in this movie. Now we're on to Team Cap. We have Steve, super unsympathetic. I am against Captain America in this movie 100%. He is a lot stronger in this movie than we've ever seen him before. We see him like kick a car. We see him hold a helicopter back. That scene's awesome. Yeah, he's pretty strong in this movie. He's pretty good. Then we see Sam, aka Falcon. Yeah, he's okay. He's a lot better than he was in Winter Soldier. He's a lot more fleshed out of a character. We get to see him interact with other Avengers, and it's good. We get Wanda. She's good. She's a lot cooler than she was in Age of Ultron. She's super powerful in this movie. Super powerful. Like I said, she's way OP in these movies. We need someone to match her strength. Maybe Thanos. Just saying. Could be someone else. Maybe Doctor Strange, because he's also magic. I don't know how those two would do together in a fight. I'm not a Doctor Strange fan, so I couldn't tell you. Bucky. Yeah, I like Bucky a lot in this movie, although he is not a threatening villain at all. Anytime he's the Winter Soldier, anytime he's the assassin, just comes off as laughable, because he's got such a nice face. He seems like such a nice guy. Barton, a.k.a. Hawkeye. he's okay. Yeah, he kind of just shows up out of nowhere for no reason, and then shoots a couple arrows. One of them, the next character is riding on. The next character is Ant-Man. Ant-Man is freaking awesome in this movie. He's hilarious. Paul Rudd, I was so against it when I heard he was cast as Ant-Man at first, but after seeing Ant-Man and after seeing this, I'm completely on board. I don't like Paul Rudd all that much to begin with, but now I'm starting to because of Ant-Man. Yeah, and then he turns into Giant Man, which is great. That part's hilarious. He's good. Baron Zemo, very sympathetic. I like his motivations that his family was killed because of the Avengers, and so he's trying to tear them apart from the inside. It's great. Overall, I really did like Captain America: Civil War. I do recommend you see it. See it in 3D, see it in IMAX, see it in whatever you see it in. I saw it in standard. Probably going to see it a second time. You should too. My rating, 10 out of 10. Go check it out. Captain America: Civil War. D-Man out.